Hi everyone, my name is Henry Nduka Aworego, the Director General and CEO of the Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry. In Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we learn to earn. In other words, we try to bridge the gap between learning and earning. I'm reaching you live from the city of Tel Aviv in Israel, the commercial city, or the commercial capital of Israel. And I want to share something very important. I want to educate on our major mandate, the mandate of the 12 T's. We call it the 12 T's because that is the beginning, the starting point of all we need to learn in the Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Please, if you are listening to me now and you are viewing me, please try to share because somebody needs what I want to share right now. Please share, let it go viral, and people will thank you for it. Even if you don't need this knowledge, please share, someone needs it. I want to start the 12th T with number one, which is training. Training is capacity building. Training unveils the potentials in you, and you cannot do without training. Training is a guarantee for triumph. If you don't have training in a particular area or areas of life, areas of human endeavor, you are not going to triumph. Training is very important. And so training gives you capacity, which is an embodiment of both your courage, your credentials, your credibility, your courage, I've said courage, and also your capital. Training is actually an asset, and it is very important that we acquire training. So that's T number one. T number two is technology, especially in the era where we are now, which of course, everything is driven by technology. And so we encourage everyone that, especially those who are members of the Scholars Chamber of Commerce, to search for the technology that can drive their skills and whatever field that they are into. So technology is very important. Now, from technology, we go to tools. Without tools, you cannot maximize technology. So for you to utilize the technology you have acquired and the training you have acquired, you also need to look out for the tools that can be used. Tools have to do with implements. It has to do with equipments. It has to do with apps. It has to do with machines and all that you need to maximally utilize technology. So I've talked about training, I've talked about technology, and then tools. Then the fourth T is techniques. Techniques has to do with how to, the procedures, the step-by-step ways or methods of carrying out what you have learned using the tools and the technology involved in what you have learned. So techniques are very important. Now, when you have these first four among the first four of the 12 T's, which has to do with training, technology, tools, and techniques, then you have acquired skills. So anytime you want to measure one's skills, or if someone is skilled in his business, in his profession, you have to check out the quality of training, or will I say the quality and quantity of training, the quality and quantity of technology, the quality and quantity of the tools, and the quality and quantity of techniques that is at that person's disposal. So very important. Then when you have acquired skills, that is when you have these four T's, you can now go into the fifth T, which is trade. Everyone must become a trader. What is trading? Trading is exchange of values. exchange of values. So when you have money and you use your money to purchase anything, you have traded. So even if you are a lawyer and you practice law and someone patronizes you as a client and pays you for your legal services, you have traded because you have exchanged values. You have exchanged your legal services for the money of your client. So don't say you are this and you are not a trader. Everyone is a trader. So T number 5 is trading. You must have something to trade. And trading is divided into two. You are either trading in commodities or trading in services. And that is where we encourage our people to go into, especially those of us from Nigeria, where we are a little bit behind the other parts of the world because of our industrial disadvantage. Yes, we have all the mineral resources, we have all the gifts from nature, but due to some lack, and those lack for me is as a result of poor leadership, we are yet to start exporting. We are yet to start exporting effectively and efficiently. We don't have power, we don't have energy, we don't have the ease of doing business at its best. And so we are still lagging behind. But we encourage our people to go into services that can be exported via technology. Services like graphics designing, services like cybersecurity, services like analytical thinking, services like data analytics, and all of that. So we can leverage on services to at least match those who are exporting commodities. And to every commodity export, there is also service export. So trading is very important. We need to understand that trading involves both local and international. But when you want to become an international trader in services, then you need to have very high level of skill acquisition. Then after trading comes tasks. To every trade there must be task. And then you also have timing. We take task and timing together and we use one sentence to elaborate. And that sentence says, you task your time and time your task. Task your time and time your task. Then after task and timing, we talk about travel and tourism. You must learn how to travel overseas. And that is why in the Scholars Chamber of Commerce, we create programs like this. I came here in Tel Aviv with some people, some members of the Scholars Chamber who came to network. Because in travels, you network, you do what we call B2B, that is business talking to business. You also do B2G. We are talking with the government of Israel in possible ways of collaborating with our businesses and other, government agencies to enhance productivity, create jobs, create foreign direct investment. You also create gross domestic product development, that is GDP development. That is what happens when we travel. And so we travel around the world trying to network, because it is your network that determines your net worth. You also travel to create contact, because it is your contact that gives you contract. When you connect, you collect. It is important in business, and we encourage all our members and those who are intending to belong to the Scholars Chamber of Commerce to take advantage of the opportunities available with the Scholars Chamber of Commerce to travel around the world. Then we also look at T number, we've talked about T number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The T number 9 is trend. There are always new trends. And if you don't befriend trend, you will be out of fashion. So there is need for you to know what is trending in your profession, in your business, in your field of endeavor. So what is trending in your business? Always look out for that. Google the trend in fashion and designing. Google the trend in school business. Google the trend in ICT. Google the trend in building and construction. Google the trend in cybersecurity. So what is trending should always be the question you have to ask yourself and your team. And then when you have the trend, you give yourself target. That is T number 10. What is your target? What is your goal? You know, a goal is different from a plan. You know, a goal is what you want to achieve. Your plan is how to achieve it. So you have to give yourself goal. And for you to achieve that goal, you must build your team. Who are you working with? Because no man is an island. You must have your team. And finally, when you have all of these T's, you will achieve your turnover, which is your profit, which is your gain. So if I may take it again, I talked about training, I talked about technology, I talked about tools, techniques, then trade, tax, timing, travel or tourism, trend, and you give yourself target and build a team, and finally turnover. I want to thank you for your listening attention, and I pray that God will bless you and increase your capacity to learn more. Thank you.